Why is poor finance management bringing a lot of family distress? To other families, they have ended up in divorce, loss of trust, and again, so many have actually regretted why they decided to marry. Let's look at finance mismanagement in a way of how we can harmonize this and then have a beautiful family out there. And again, it can bring up either happiness, regret, or even disorganization of the children in the homes. Together with me is Samuel Ibanda, a senior consultant in financial management, and is here to tell us how that finance, something small, it's a very component. I know we always take it as a small component of family or a component of love, but I want to assure you it's one of the major points before you get married, or as you marry, or as even you prepare to enter any relationship. Thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you too.
It's a pleasure hosting you, and I always feel very happy and honored having you on board, especially talking about finance. And today we want to know, how is finance, money, how is money an important aspect in falling in love? Is it a major aspect? Is it important? And why should it be a point of discussion in our families? And for those who are yet to get married, what should they consider before they make steps to marry somebody's daughter?
Okay, thank you so much, Brian, for inviting me to the podcast. And once again, to our viewers, thank you so much for always tuning in to watch the Bravo podcast. I'm glad to be here to speak about finances and marriage. One, I'm an accountant by profession. Yes. So I have some background in financial management, but I did not just learn finances from school. I learned finances while growing up, but also, through life. Yes. Finances is like, what can I compare? Maybe the gospel language. Yes. These are things that we learn as we grow in the process. So I'm here to speak about finances. I also want to clarify that I'm actually married, so I don't want to speak things from theory. These are some of the things that I've seen within my marriage, but I've also seen other marriages that I've supported on the journey, and also through the families that I also grew through, because you don't just learn from your journey, but you also learn from where you have grown up. Yes. So why finances are very critical, especially at the early stage of any relationship, and you're glad you've actually brought it up, is because finances are like, it's like a blood of our lives, because you get to realize that everything around us is actually costs money. Yes. Like if you, the way you've actually dressed money, there's money everywhere. Even this video that we're actually doing, there's money attached to it. So money is a very important aspect in our lives, and it is also very important even for relationships. Yes. And that is why before two people agree to, let's say, take their relationship to the next level and maybe get married, they need to have the hard conversations around money. Yeah. And why this is important is because I'll tell you, there is a saying that the women are not just interested in the love. Yeah. Actually, even the Bible itself does not say that women should actually love men. Yes. In most cases, from what I have been able to learn from my superiors and mentors, is that the woman will actually come to you because there's something that they actually
have to pick from you.
Yes. So, and that's why for them, the only what they are given as an assignment in the Bible is to respect the man on the other side, and the man has to love the woman. Yes. So when it comes to money, in most cases, especially in our African setting, you find that it's the man that has a lot of money and the woman has less money. But there's a lot of change that has happened, that you find that these days, there are actually women that have more money than actually the men.
Than the men, yes.
And now when you're coming into relationships, there are quite a lot of people who struggle when it comes to scenarios where the woman is the one has more money. Because at the end of the day, they're asking themselves, who controls the marriage, who is in charge of everything, who is going to meet all this. You even find cases where there are women who have money, but despite them having money, you find that they still think that the man will actually provide. And their money is their money, and the man's money is our money.
Yes.
So when a couple sits together before they get married to discuss some of these aspects, I think they're able to agree, because the differences, all the challenges that actually come later on in marriage are because certain things were just assumed. Like, you assume that the money that will be spent will be the man's money. Yet when you get in there, the man now starts to feel like you actually have money. Why are you actually asking me for money?
Yes.
Or why are you even constructing houses, yet we are still renting and you don't want us to move into some of those houses?
Yes.
So when all those things are not clarified, then you get challenges. So when you clarify them early, means that you'll agree and say, okay, are we going to have a single bank account where we shall have money, or are we going to have separate accounts where maybe you can just contribute to certain aspects? To what percentages will actually these contributions be happening? Are we going to, what are we prioritizing as a family? What are we going to do? Are we going to first construct? Are we going to first run the businesses? What are we exactly going to do? So those conversations, I think, are very important for a couple to be able to look at them ahead of their relationship.
Wow. This is amazing. But as you know, we are men.
Yes.
When a woman comes out to speak her mind, especially on discussions of finances before she falls in love with you, or before she accepts a hand in marriage, this woman is labeled a gold digger. What's your take on that?
Okay, I'll say that before I got married, I dated my current wife, and I'll tell you that there are certain things that I saw in her, but also I also dated other girls.
Yes.
What I would say is, it's not that when you speak about money, you'll be looked at as a gold digger.
Yes.
A gold digger would be somebody who just maybe ask for money when they don't want to know. Give me 500,000 for my hair, or give me this amount of money.
Yes.
When you're having these conversations, you're not asking for money, but you're saying, wait a moment, we are getting into this long-term relationship.
Yes.
When we now have our children, what kind of life are we going to prepare for them?
Yes.
How are we even going to handle some of these affairs when it comes to money?
Yes.
You're not just doing it to show that you actually want money. There are actually people, there are women, I'll tell you, like my wife, you'll find that they're not after your money, but when you look at the wisdom in terms of the conversations they bring on the table, and like, okay, I know you mentioned that you have this land somewhere. When we get married, don't you think it would be a good idea for us to see how to utilize that place, maybe for a business, or even plan it in a better way that it can actually house our home after some point in time? Such ideas do not really make you look like a gold digger. They actually make you look as a development person.
Yes.
If somebody is actually out there looking out for a wife, when they listen to such conversations, be like, this person is developmental. They're not just after my money, but actually they want us to build and grow together. So it's not per se that whenever you mention money, the gold digger mindset comes in.
Yeah. Some of the discussions make men lose their capacity. I would say that we've seen so many men, when a woman starts talking about money, some men lose their self-esteem. Because one, if you're asking a man on how he's going to plan for his money when he doesn't have, but he's ready to enter a relationship, but in this case he doesn't have the money. So how do you advise a man out there who is approached by this confident girl, confident woman, probably independent woman, and he's presented himself as a potential husband, and of course on the table they are seated and discussing issues of the money, and who has brought up this discussion? It is the woman. Don't you think a man would think that she's trying to drive him? Because there's where a woman is in control, and then that scares us as men, that she's in control. And I know many men don't like it. So how would you advise a potential woman out there to start this conversation? In what way can somebody bring out this conversation to the man that would not be scared? Or making a woman look as if she's too expensive to this man?
Okay, thank you so much. And I like the fact of the way you've asked the question. How does a woman ask some of these questions?
Yes.
Now, I want to draw it from the perspective that there's a lot has changed, Brian. And the reason why we're struggling with the conversation of money is because we're still getting notes from our fathers who lived in the previous times,
Yes.
where the man was the one who was providing for the family.
Yes.
A lot has changed. You want to date this woman is already working.
Yes.
She has money on her account.
Yes.
She's not just wants to look at how much money you have,
Yes.
but she wants to see how can she fit in,
Yes.
such that she's able to support you.
Yes.
Now, when you have such an opportunity from such a woman, means that you need to be able to listen to them and see, how do I harmonize, keep my position as a man, because that is what you want to do, but make sure that this aspect of money is actually discussed and agreed upon. If a woman is on the other side and wants to ask things to do with money, it could be by starting and saying, Samuel, you want us to get married. What is your 5 years plan? What is your 10 years plan? If we get married, what are some of the kind of schools that you think our kids should go to?
Yes.
What's the kind of area do you want to maybe have your home? What are some of the businesses that you think we could run, or maybe are you currently running that are providing for you? So you're basically understanding each other, just like the way you ask people start to ask, do you have any exes that people you have dated in the previous, or do you have any what can I say, any current people that you're dating? Like, you're just trying to ask about things of life. You're asking about them, where do they come from, their parents, and what. Also be able to ask them aspects to do. What is your, what do you do every day? You know, there are people who are dating, but they don't care about what the other person does.
Yes.
For them, what they care about is, because this person gives me upkeep of 1 million, let's say, per week.
Yes.
It's enough. Why do I have to get into the details of what the other person earns? Brian, there's a time I was called to speak at one of the conferences, and there's a woman who came through from the audience, and this woman took up the microphone and started crying. And she said, I just lost my husband 2 years back.
Yeah.
My husband did not want me to speak about money, did not want even us to have a conversation about money.
Yeah.
But when he left me a responsibility of over 5 children. And now I have had to start from zero. I didn't know what kind of assets he was owning. I struggled because these were taken up by families. I didn't know much about his business, so we could not even take on the business. His business partners had to take over these businesses. So you get to realize that the conversation of money, yes, you may not want to speak about it now, but there are uncertainties ahead of us, and you can't know what will actually happen. So when you start early, these conversations of money, it means that even when you get into the relationship, you're not just going to look at these things from a distance and just put them into the drawer. You're going to bring this to the conversation such that you're going to work together as a couple, knowing how money comes in. If I'm not around, this person can run with my businesses. Because if you're not trusting the person who you're sleeping with in the bed, whom are you going to trust? You're going to trust somebody else who is outside there, that if you get any challenges, I'll tell you, these days we have what we call emergency funds in families. You get to realize that yourself, you get into that unconscious state where you cannot even go to your ATM to withdraw money. You can't even speak. But a woman whom you've been hiding everything from is actually with you in the hospital. She has to meet the bills. There are a lot of questions around the woman. So, and all that comes because the conversation of money is not spoken about. And this does not even stop there. Because you're not having conversations with the woman, means that even the children will also remain ambiguous about the affairs of money into their house. And they will always ask for whatever they need because they feel everything is available. When you don't give them, they will feel bad. So that kind of life where you're just like the prophet in the house,
it's not good.
It doesn't work.
You know, we have to live by example.
Yes.
Does your wife know your PIN, your ATM PIN?
Exactly.
Because we need to find out. And I'm sure she's watching.
Yeah, she's watching.
Does she know the PIN of your ATM?
She knows.
When you get your salary,
you're
an accountant.
Yes.
Sometimes accountants are very mean people. That one I know. Not to mean that you're mean, because you count a lot. You need accountability. You need that. When you get your salary as a man, because we lead by example, and you're a good Christian, what do you do with your salary?
Okay, thank you so much. So one of the things that I and my wife agreed to
Yeah.
was to sit down and evaluate our expenses
Yes.
to see how much do we spend, let's say, on a monthly basis. So we
Yes.
sat down to write, let's say, maybe housing, utilities,
Yes.
food, and all those things. So we were able to come up with an amount of
Yes.
money
Yes.
that we know that this is what takes care of the home.
Yes.
Immediately when I receive my salary, the first thing I do
Yes.
is to get that amount of money, get off it, and give it to my wife, because my wife manages the affairs of the home.
Yes.
So that is one of the first things that I do before I now get down to now look at savings. Of course, there are automated savings that will just get off your account,
Yes.
either to a circle or to a unit trust or whatever. And then you're able to also now look at what are some of our priorities for this period.
Yes.
As a family. What are some of the things that we need to be able to do? So something like that in a snapshot.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've tried to be straight. What are the weaknesses you found out doing that?
What can I say are the
Yes.
weaknesses? Now, of course, sometimes, things to do with money. Sometimes what you think is maybe, let's say, for example, expenses.
Yes.
Expenses keep on changing. Today,
Yes.
you've calculated and maybe your value is, let's say, maybe 1 million or 2 million, but things keep on changing.
Yes.
And if they keep on changing, means that they're going to get into your other aspects, either savings or whatever. And all these things sometimes may affect you in terms of the future plans that you may actually have in place.
Yes.
So I don't know if I could call them weaknesses, but I believe that the continuous communication, because even when such things happen, we're able to have conversations and be able to agree and say, okay, we plan that this is what we are going to do, but this is actually urgent for us. We need to make sure that this gets out of our way. So communication again comes in when it comes to aspects of money.
Yeah. Have you ever requested your wife to contribute part of those expenses in your house? Has it ever crossed your mind?
Okay, very good question. My wife does contributes to the expenses in the house.
What percentage does she contribute?
This is private information.
No, she's watching. We need to know. No, she must be watching.
This is private information.
No,
but
what percentage? No, it shouldn't be private because you said, okay, 10% or 5% because I'm the man in the house.
Okay, so for us, what we did is I agreed on what I could contribute. Now my wife contributes to the rest.
To the rest.
Yes.
Or you're the African man who doesn't want your wife to spend money so that tomorrow she doesn't use it against you.
No, my wife does really spend money.
We run families according to where we come from.
Yes.
And in the African culture, they say a man, you're not supposed to declare your finances to your wife.
Yeah.
Because at one time she used it against you.
Yeah.
What do you say about that as an African man?
Things have changed, Brian.
Yes.
And I'll tell you that I'll give you an example. When I got married,
Yes.
and I got my wife in, at first I'd taken that route of not telling her
Yes.
how much I earn.
Yes.
And yeah, you feel like you're a Superman because when she asks, you're able to provide.
Yes.
But imagine somebody is asking, but they don't know what's the size of where you're actually picking from.
Yes.
Means that every time they will ask and they will think that it's actually there. So when you do not give them, they will not understand.
Yes.
Wow. When you declare, let's say, your salary to your wife, means that they will know and know that, okay, this is how much my husband earns. And means that if we've already maybe spent an amount of money, there'll be an aspect of understanding. But we've also said that there are those circumstances that can happen that are not prepared for. And that means that if your wife, let's say, is claiming for your NSSF returns, and you've not been even telling her how much she earns, she even has nowhere to start from. So there's going to be a time where actually her knowing some of these things is actually important. But also, you're together, you're saying you got married and you became one.
Yes.
Why is it that when it comes to finances, you're actually two? So it's important for couples to actually know how much each of them earn. Not only just for the man, even the women also need to be able to declare.
What prompted you to change? Because at first you did not want to do that. What prompted you to change, to declare?
So I'm a financial literacy trainer,
Yes.
and these are some of the principles that I've been able to learn along the journey. That when it comes to finances and marriage, it's wholesomeness. You're one running a single vision. If my wife doesn't know about how much I'm earning, much likely she will not easily support fully in terms of my dreams and whatever. Even when I have challenges, I'll tell you, Brian, it's not just even about how much I earn. There are couples where they say the man has even taken huge debt. They have even given off the house into the debt. And the only thing that the wife knows is the day when they're actually coming to be evicted out of the house.
Yes.
There's lack of communication because you see, again, finance management of finance is actually bringing family distress is lack of transparency. Not only when things are good, but also when things are not doing well. Communication, because you're not a superman. There are quite a lot of men who get themselves so much stressed because they have to borrow to make sure that they sustain a certain lifestyle,
Yeah.
even when they do not have. So when you communicate, you easy things. You're like, I don't have money. You saw this is the amount of money we received, and this is how we've been able to spend it. We can wait for the next month. And this person will take on that kind of understanding heart and say, okay, my husband does not have, and maybe I should not even look for it anywhere else from any other person who might give it to me, because my husband generally does not have, such that they don't have to get to scenario be like, you have another wife, you have another two wives that take your money. So all these things build trust.
Yes.
And trust is very important in marriage.
Do you declare the allowances and some deals you get alongside to your wife?
My wife actually collects some of the money that I get from any side hustles that I get,
Okay.
because we are one with my wife. So I don't know if for other couples what has worked for them, because different couples choose a different direction. Some of them, they're okay for them to run their personal finances, but they contribute to a given basket. And I'm not here to say you should tell your wife how much you earn, but it's important. If you feel that you are driven in that direction, please inform them. If that is not your way of doing things, go on to make sure at least you have a pool which is known to each other, such that there's clarity and there's also continuous. Of course, like I told you, when you start, the journey is different. Some of the couples at a later stage, some of these things become part of them. They start to do them. So depending on what you think, how you feel about it. But if you were to ask advice from me, I would definitely tell you that actually telling your partner how much you earn is more important than actually holding that information from them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does this mean that you're a good Christian or it is your character?
I think this is away from my religion. Okay. This is about my character as an individual, yes. But also learning. Yes. You see, Brian, it's not even just about my character, but learning from the past. I'll tell you that growing up, I was able to see some of these things that my father was open when it came to his finances. Yeah. Even when he passed on, my family, my mother, and our family business has been able to run because my father was open to information regarding his finances, regarding his businesses. He taught us and made us understand what was happening. Yeah. Even when he did not have money, you would go to him and tell him that I have this trip. And he'll tell you, you don't have money, and you'd actually understand. Yes. Because there was that transparency and openness. So it's, I think, very important.
When we look at the middle class, and this is where the majority have gone to school, this is a very difficult topic about it. We've seen, I know so many people are watching on LinkedIn and watching there, guys, the professionals, many women or wives out there are having difficulty dealing with their husbands. And what saddens me is that majority of these have gone to school. Many of the women or the wives do not know actually what the husbands earn, or even, they don't even know what they own in that family. How come is it difficult for many people who have gone to school? This becomes very difficult. Finances become a distress to many of these couples. If they have not gone to school, you'd say the man never went to school. He's not educated. He doesn't know. But how come that the majority of the middle class finances are still challenging them.
Brian, studying up to my degree level and beyond, no lecture did the
Yes.
lecturer come and tell us about how to manage finances as a
Yes.
family.
Yes.
So it actually comes down to how we are groomed.
Yes.
Even in families, Brian,
Yeah.
you grow up in families where there is no conversation about money.
Yes.
The dining table is about results. What did you score last term, and so on. There's no conversation about money. So this aspect of money, it becomes so ambiguous. Money is like a disease status. Basically, it's keeping yourself private to eat. Now, of course, in the workplace, this is also again brought up because there's a lot of confidentiality. We might be working together, but I don't know how much you earn.
Yes.
So the employers have also made this information to be so confidential that even the employees think that even when it comes to my family, it should be confidential information.
Yeah.
Like I need to make that contract not visible to them.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, I want to say that, yes, it might be something that you'd feel comfortable with, but there are disadvantages to it. There are disadvantages to it because when you open up, you see, the reason why you're into a marriage, unless maybe you just actually got into marriage for other reasons, but the reason you go into marriage is for partnership. And you can't partner where there's no transparency, where there's no trust. So I encourage men out there to start the conversation. Declare not only just your income, but also your debt. Sometimes, you see, women are a bit think about money differently. I'm a risk person. I take on risks as they come. But I'll tell you that when I discuss, let's say, maybe a huge certain amount of money that I've received with my wife will come with a risk-averse approach. But at the end of the day, you will think about it and say, I think this was a better option. But you get this money, you take on these deals, and they backfire. And who is healing you, who is here to speak to you is your wife, who even doesn't know the journey.
Yes.
So the more you restrict the money affairs, actually they say money is second to infidelity towards breakages in marriage.
Yeah.
So means that you actually risk your marriage when you hold onto the conversation of money, where you want you to. I think the reason why most men actually hold onto that information is because of control.
Yes.
They want to make sure that you don't understand what is happening, such that they can control. But I believe that control can also happen when there is actually clarity.
But you see, the more you declare your monies, the more the appetite of spending it. I've talked to so many men, and the more their wives know how much money is in the house, the more she doubles her shopping spree. To a man who has a wife who has appetite for shopping by impulse, and that man chooses not to declare the money, because the more money on the table, the more the woman wants to consume it. And I will tell you, women will consume no matter how much money is available for her, because she knows money is flowing. So in this case, a man who is going through this challenge, that has got a guzzler in the house, I'm sorry to call the wives guzzlers, with this appetite of spending the money, how would you want the man to control his wife that is of this nature?
Okay, one thing I would say is you not declaring does not in any way even protect you from this person who spends. Actually, if the woman does not know how much you earn and how much you have, even when it comes to her demands, they will actually be over the moon because she knows the money is there. It's like an endless tap that is actually pouring. When you declare, you're trying to manage even those demands. Now, this is what I think works. If you're earning, let's say, let's give an example. Maybe you're earning 5 million or maybe 4 million. Means that if you have put together and said, this is how much we spend as a family, this is our monthly spending, there's something to do with budgeting. You're saying these are our needs. These are things that we can't do away with. And then you also said these are things that we love doing, going out for holiday, eating out, whatever it is that makes you happy as a family. Those are like your wants.
What are you planning for your wife?
Okay, let me first answer the other question that you asked about planning.
Yes.
I want to say that you can actually plan and live a good life.
Yes.
We're trying to say living a responsibly.
And within our means.
You see, money, Brian. Money. If you don't plan for money,
Yes.
money finds its way. Do you know that you can receive your salary today?
Yes.
And within the next
Few
10
hours.
days,
It is, no, even few hours.
let me even tell you, in the corporate space, a lot of professionals, by the 15th date
of each month,
they are starting to look for debt
Yes.
that can sustain them.
in the next 15 days.
Yes. Why? Because there are always hungry lions
Yes.
that take this amount of money.
Yes.
So all we are saying is, if you need to eat out, you need to have debts. Plan as a couple and say, maybe every month we will be going out
Yes.
for debt. And that is okay. What we are saying is, do not just randomly because you've seen a nice dress, do it. You've seen people going to Dubai, even without planning, you take debt and then go. Or basically, you just randomly living
Yes.
because you want people to see you, you want to just randomly live. 10 years down the road, Brian, you see, right now, we have a lot of, when you look at, when NSF gives you the statistics, we have a lot of poverty in the elderly stages of
Yes.
lives.
Yes.
And thank God that the system of where parents were depending on children is still applicable now.
Yes.
Right now, things are changing so terribly that somebody leaves university and they don't have a job. And what they have to do is to depend on their parents to survive during that time.
Yes.
Now, if you are living, you see, Brian, it's not that every time you're going to be working. There's going to be a time T where you can't wake up and go to work.
Yes.
But what will sustain you?
Yes, true.
The understanding that if I'm earning 1 million today, part of this money should actually be put somewhere as a seed to cater for that time when I'm not earning.
Yes.
It requires a lot of knowledge.
Yes.
I know we live only once, YOLO and whatever it is, but it's important for you to sit back and plan for that time.
Yes.
Not only just old age now, Brian. These days, you can't even know that if that income will actually be there.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of people have lost jobs. COVID, the economy,
Yes.
there's a lot that is happening.
Yes.
If you do not have money, you don't want to get your family off an apartment and pack and take them back to the village. But even which village, Brian?
Even if the village is not there.
The village is not there.
Yes.
So that is why you're going to find people getting into suicide, getting into mental health, because some of these things were hard conversations.
Yeah.
Money is something that sometimes we underrate, but controls a big part of our lives.
Yeah.
So having that discipline and knowing that, okay, yes, this thing does not look attractive. Planning does not look attractive. Writing down expenses does not look attractive. Even saving is the very hardest thing.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Brian, my first job, I struggled with saving.
Yeah.
Until I just had to put an automated saving system. And that money is deducted off and put there.
Yeah.
There's a time I signed up for a policy for 5 years where they were deducting 200,000 for over 5 years, and I was able to save over 12 million.
Yeah.
Because this money, I could not even access it during that that policy time.
Yeah.
Money, the discipline around money needs to be intentional.
Yeah. But when you talk about intentional,
Yeah.
it's hard really, because
It is hard,
by the
Brian.
time the money comes,
Yeah.
there's so much that is being demanded.
Exactly.
There's something that I find that every woman likes, and I know your wife likes it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would want you to tell me, how much money do you give your wife
Brian.
as a man
Brian.
on her personal? Listen, I know this is a bit tough, but every woman would wish that much as we have our family money we are planning for,
Yeah.
have you got money to say, my wife, every month, this is money for you. I will not ask for accountability, and it's not meant for buying food in the house, but this is money for you. Because our wives have personal problems that they don't tell us, either for their family or their personal needs. As a man, how much money do you give to your wife? That is yours, your money. My wife, this is money to your pocket. How much do you give her?
Brian, the last time a man declared how much they give to their woman, and they said they give them 600,000 for Kameza. The next thing we saw, it was
so how much money do you have? And if you don't do it, as a man, I would advise you that no matter how much money you earn, even if you have declared all your money, and you tell your wife, this is how much I earn, this is how much money you're spending in the house, so I have no money. You should reserve, whether it is a 50K, whether it is 100K, that money should not be part of the planning. This is what women like. So how much money do you give to your wife for her money to solve her problems as a man? Tell us.
Brian, you're my big brother. So I think we will turn this conversation. And now I ask you, how much money you give? You give to your wife, but let me see.
Yes, how much do you reserve? Because you're a finance person and you're a good Christian, married man, how much money? You know, that's a difficult question for someone.
Let me say this.
Tell us. We need to hear.
Let me say this.
Yes.
One of the things I mentioned is that we live a wholesome life with my wife. My wife has access to my money. So when she needs something, she can withdraw. And so we don't have a limit.
So she can withdraw.
Yeah, we don't have a limit. We don't live by the limit. Again, you've mentioned about
if you found your wife withdrawing 500K for her personal needs,
I would be
what
okay.
would you be your reaction?
I would be okay.
Yes.
I would be okay.
Would you question for accountability? Would you ask for accountability?
No. I wouldn't question for accountability. Why? Because I know this woman of mine understands our bigger vision, where we are going.
Yes.
So if she takes this amount of money, I believe she is responsibly living. And I think it's also about character, Brian.
Yes.
There are people that you'll see, I know that this person, they are irresponsible in their spending. My wife is totally different.
Yes.
If you know that she has actually taken money, it's actually for responsible living.
Yes.
So I think for me, that alone is a key principle. For certain people, it's okay for you to pick money and give to your wife.
Yes.
But of course, we also know that there are changing needs. That today you may be giving her maybe 400 or 200, but there are lots of things that are changing.
Yeah.
And also, how sustainable also is it?
Because you realize that many women say, I have my husband, we plan for everything, but I never have money in my pocket. As a woman, because there are problems or challenges I will not tell my husband. Maybe 40,000. My sister has requested me 30,000, 40,000, 20,000. And now, if I have my husband who is an accountant and I dare spend that money, I will expect in the evening accountability. Where is the receipt? You know, where did you spend this money from? And then to avoid all this, maybe say, okay, I've reserved 200,000 to send on her mobile for her to have things that I'm not going to be involved in. And with the all men I've talked to, I've always advised this. And if you're not doing it, I'm advising you to do that. She may not tell you as a wife. She will say, okay, this is how my wife or my husband wants his things to be done. But deep down there, this woman always would feel comfortable to have, and I'm not saying give her 500,000 or 1 million, but to say, my wife, I've got a deal. That is 100,000 for you. I will not follow it up. I will not see whether it has bought onions or anything in the house. This is what women like. This is what women like. And we're not told as men. But every woman would want to have her money. I don't know how they call it. You know, there's how they respected. He gave me 100,000 and he will not go for it or he will not follow it up.
Let me just speak towards that thing, Brian. I give my wife money and I may not speak of the amount, but I do give to her. But I also want to clarify something here, Brian, is that, again, a lot has changed. And what that means is that if you have a spouse who is working, who is running. So for me, one of the things I believe, Brian, is I believe in empowering our women, because there are men there because you're making a lot of money, you feel your wife should not do anything.
Yes.
They should not open up any shop or any business. You want to give them the money. Again, back to the other thinking of certain men that if they start getting money, they will be controlled. Or if they are at the workplaces, they are working in different places, they will get other husbands or whatever. There's a lot of things. There are a lot of theories, Brian, when it comes to how certain men want to manage their women. For me, mine is empower the woman. You see, that money that you may want to give her on a monthly basis, put it together, like maybe just do over, let's say maybe over 24 months, put it together and give it to her and say, you can actually put up something that could actually bring you this money. You know, when your wife is actually has a source of income for herself, you get to realize that even if that money would have been given for her, she can actually get some of this money. Because again, I spoke about sustainability. As you give her this amount of money, she will get used, and she'll actually, it will just be of more like, I have somebody who actually gives me the money. For me, mine is I empower you. And I tell you, okay, this is your business. In case you have a financial need, you can remove, such that she's also part of the process of how this money is actually coming in. That is my understanding, and that is what I think. Because at the end of the day, I shared with you that scenario where a husband passed on and left a family. Now, when you create a dependence syndrome within your family, that you're the breadwinner, any aspect, either you lose a job, creates a crisis. But when you create a system that shows that you're not just the breadwinner, that every one of us can actually contribute to the bread. Where you run a business, I like, Brian, when I see you with pictures of your sons in the shop, means they're learning the business. I grew up with parents who are running businesses, and they would take us to the shops, would see how the money is actually coming in. That even by the time they would actually give you the school fees, you know where it is actually coming in. The same thing with my mother. My mother was involved in the shop. You'd find that she is in there to run the business. Even right now, the businesses are running and sustaining us because all that was put. If we were depending on our father, when he passed on, means everything would have collapsed. So I encourage that as we think about this thing of money as parents, we don't just think about it from around us, the two. But we need to cascade this down, because whatever you're doing, your children are actually learning. There's no better than learning than actually observing. You see, even most of the children think that the school fees is actually paid by the father. But sometimes you even need to change the narrative. Such that when these young girls go into their marriages, it's a different story. They're not looking at the man, the only person who provides. You know, there are women who can actually work, who can do everything, but they will just reserve back because they grew up seeing only their father provide.
Now, again, when we talk about giving money to the wives, there are so many wives who are working in family businesses. Let's talk about that. They are working in family business. They are in, they are employed. But these women or wives have never received any money because the business takes care of the needs that they need. So in this case, for a woman out there who is going through this challenge, they are in business, they never receive money. Yes, me being working and doing everything, it's the same with children. That the children are working, but because you're paying school fees for them and because you can take care of them, they never see the money, their money. You see, when I talk about this money, I know you said that I can get 24 months. I was supposed to give her, let's say, 200,000, and that's 2.5 million. I would give it to her and go and start your thing. But do you know the magic of you getting? Actually, to me, I would tell you, instead of getting a lump sum and give it to the woman, and the money can go and she never sees it, and you find a husband who gets 200,000 and gives it to the wife every month, he's actually considered a big boss than the other one who has done that. Because whenever they receive money that is actually, that doesn't need accountability, the wives are happy. And I'm not saying that you should give a certain amount of money. But even if you say, I have 50K, do you have some money? Give it to her. She's always happy. And you've handled her that part. Because no matter how much money you give her for Christmas, go and shop for your children. There are even women who are not even receiving money for Christmas. Because the man feels he has given money for the family. But the women want it as their money. I know when we talk about these who say, my money is my money and your money is our money, it's also another challenge that many men are going through and really has created a lot of this trouble. So let me take you back a little bit. When we're talking about, when we're discussing finances in dating, there's something you brought up where a man asks, how many men have you dated? Would you ask that to your wife? Did you ask that to your wife?
No, I didn't ask.
Would you find it normal for somebody to ask someone, how many men have you dated? Or how many women have you dated in that discussion?
I think it's not.
As a new couple.
Okay, I think it's not important.
Yes.
Because it's about that person.
Yes.
It's just like in employment where people are asking you, where have you worked?
Yes.
In that case, they are looking for experience. But when it comes to dating,
Yes.
it's a different thing. It's not about experience. You don't want to really unveil certain experiences that this person might have gone through for them to get these memories and maybe either regret or whatever. So I think it's about the individual at that point in time that you've met them, understand them. If you think they're actually okay, I think it shouldn't be about how their history is.
Yeah. So finance. Somebody who is going to get married and expecting to get married in 2026. I want you to give us some of your key points that this woman or the man must take account before they walk down the aisle in line of finance.
Okay. Thank you so much. I want now to even speak about the journey to actually the wedding, the marriage itself.
Yes.
Because quite a lot of couples, finance, the journey of their finances starts from the wedding event.
Yes.
Because that is where quite a lot of, either you'd go into debt or you'd have surplus.
Yeah.
Even there's a lot of conversations around weddings these days, Brian, because a lot of couple want to organize massive events.
Yes.
So one, I think your discipline as a couple needs to start from your event to understand that there's life beyond the wedding.
Yes.
That after you have walked down the aisle and everyone has left.
Yes.
And it's only you two people, there's life. So if you're going to get married, you need to evaluate aspects around money. And this is where the conversation comes in. Have the bold conversations around money to understand how you're going to manage money as a couple. What are your preferences? And this is not from you saying, this is what I want.
Yeah.
But trying to ask your other person, what do you think about this? I've had couples have the same bank account. Do you think this is something that would work for us, or you think it's okay for us to have independent? Bring it from the conversation where you're picking their opinion to see how it. But one of the things that happen in marriage is not just going by what maybe the superior person is saying, but it's a collaboration and understanding, and there's compromise as well. So being able to have those first conversations and say, what do we want our marriage to look like in the next 5 years? It comes to finances. What are some of the things? Do you believe in renting and then building a house later, or you think we could actually aspire to have a house together? All these things help you that even as you settle in your marriage, there's clarity on what your aspirations are. You're saying, we aspire, when you're getting married, you even have, let's say you want to go for honeymoon. You're asking yourselves, should we take the honeymoon to that location right now? Or this could actually wait? Such that even when you get in the marriage, you are even making decisions around what apartment. Are we going to still live in this apartment, or do we need to get another apartment? Now, in every decision, I'll tell you, Brian, that you're making in marriage, even when it comes to giving, like getting children, you're looking at the responsibility, like, can we first wait maybe for 2 years before we get the children? Or we can actually have our children such that it is very easy for us to take care of the children when we are still young. All these conversations are really very important, because you've seen couple who wait for long and maybe give birth to children later on, even struggle to find the children. There are lots of things around it. Or even those that do not even speak about the number of children they want to have, and before you know it, they have dozens of children because they didn't have conversation around this. So it's important for you to look, like I gave you an example, look at your 5 years, look at your 10 years, look at your 20 years. What does that life look like? But before even you look at that, get down to now. Where are we right now? How is your income? Have those conversations such that you know, are you working?
Yeah.
Do you have any other alternative sources of income that comes through? Because somebody wants to come into the relationship when they know that there's some level of security. They also need to know their level of input.
Yeah.
If a woman wanted to be, let's say, a housewife, maybe at that time they are thinking, can we actually have a business at home or have something that we can start and work together and run a family business? So all these things, some people think it will just come by the wind, like the wind will bring them.
Yeah.
But when you have these conversations, honest, bold conversations, you structure your life, and there's clarity, there's honest, there's transparency.
And it saves your marriage.
It saves your marriage. At the end of the day, you have clarity. You will know that this person is actually went to Dubai to work for 2 years such that we can achieve this in life. And this person you've left here will be faithful to you because they know you're working together.
Yeah.
You're not just going to work and get somebody there because you've gotten money, but it's an overall family planning.
Yeah.
So planning is not actually for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Planning is for the right reasons, to give you direction as a couple, to understand where you're going. And when you get to you celebrating your 10 years, 20 years, you thank yourself.
Wow.
Because you have the assets, you have on your graduation, you'll comfortably say, now kuente,
Yes.
or I've given you this land, or
Yeah.
I've given you this,
Yeah.
and your children will feel proud of you because you planned for them, you've catered for what they need.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. There are couples, you find that a man is a poor finance manager.
Yeah.
And then you find that a woman is also a poor finance manager in the home. And they're battling this problem.
Yeah.
How do you advise a man who married a wife that is a poor finance manager? And vice versa. The woman is very good and the man is a problem. And this couple is fighting each day.
Yeah.
How do you advise them to have dialogue for better management of their finances in the home and for better saving a family that is collapsing because of that problem?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. And I think that helps us even as we conclude that just like the way you have a challenge of a cough and a flu that you don't have a solution to because you don't have the capacity and you look for a doctor, the same thing also happens with finances, Brian. A lot of people avoid sharing or bringing a third party in their affairs, but it's actually for the good. Myself, I do financial coaching, where we work with couples to make sure that they are planning, not just even planning for now or resolving their current challenges, but we are helping them create legacies, generational wealth that will actually cater for them, financial planning. So I would encourage them to, one, seek out for help. And look out for a personal finance coach who can help them understand some of these things. There is no one who understands money fully. Money evolves. What was a good investment in the previous days, the rentals and so on,
I know
now have changed. We have a lot of now options like treasury bills and bonds, unit trust. Some of these things, you hear them and they feel ambiguous to you. Look out for help, for somebody who can actually help you. The other option is there's a lot of information online that you can actually get and learn. There are also trainings. Get into those trainings with your partner. Even if it's a video that you've watched out that is very good, sit down with your partner such that you watch together and you learn these principles together. But also the understanding of the why, Brian. You see, we will come here and we say plan. But if somebody doesn't see where, you see, for you want to construct a house, you want to start this big business, but the partner doesn't understand that journey, that direction. But when you now get them into that direction, such that they see where they are going. The other reason why, Brian, some people or some couples struggle when it comes, even if when they have to discuss, is where there's even no shared ownership of some of these things.
Yeah.
Yes, you want us to build, to buy land and build that house, but you want these things to only remain in your
In your
names.
names and yeah.
There are certain things that around, even when it comes to businesses, accounts, it's only you who wants to
Operate
control
them.
them.
Yeah.
You even don't share passwords. When it comes to spending, you don't want to be told. I think it needs to get down where the couple understands the importance of money for
Yeah.
them
Yeah.
in their relationships. When they get to understand that and have the bold conversations, and I know sometimes it's hard, in that, invite somebody. Say, today we would like to invite Coach Samuel to just have a conversation about money.
Yeah.
This person will come. We usually do a diagnostic to understand where you are. We do your family net worth,
Yeah.
where you are as a couple when it comes to finances. We get down to look at what are your aspirations, like I mentioned, which schools you want your kids to go to, which places you want to live in, which assets you want to acquire, and then at what age do you want to retire, what kind of retirement life do you want. Then we create and map out and say, these are the kind of assets you should be investing in. This is why you should take up a 20 years bond. This is why you should put some money in the unit trust for emergency fund. This is why you need to do an education policy that could cater for your kids after 5 or 10 years. All this information helps you, and you live a life of clarity when it comes to money.
Wow. This speaks to those who are earning some moderate incomes.
Yeah.
How about the couple? A woman is earning 500,000, the man is earning 500,000. But they want good life for themselves.
Yeah.
And they seek out your help as a financial consultant. Would you be able to manage such kind of people? Or only those who are able to earn 5 million and above?
Okay, very, very, very good question, Brian. I would say that either you have a lot of money or you do not have. Financial planning is not just managing what is available. Financial planning also cascades to ask questions. How can we increase our income?
Yeah.
So when a couple is earning, let's say 500,000, the other is also earning 500,000, one, it gets down to understand what kind of life are they living? Is the life they are living commensurate to how much they are earning? What are their aspirations? What are some of those things that they have that they can actually turn into income? It could be skills that they have earned through training. It could actually be even their spaces, maybe their home, that they could actually turn it out. Right now, we at Naria Motel here, and you see a lot of plants everywhere. If a couple came through here and learned some of these skills and went and started similar projects, the home itself would actually start earning them money. So it's about being able to look beyond your current challenges as a family to see what can we. It could be taking that wife of yours to go and skill and get that baking skill, or learn tailoring or whatever. It could be you saying, we are going to run this business, I will finish my work at this time and come at the restaurant and we will drive this together. So it's not a way to give up, but it's a way to look at the possibilities and opportunities out there to say, you have your Facebook account. Can you actually start posting about the business? Or you have your TikTok. Can we start to do videos? Can we find a product that we can really grow? At the end of the day, Brian, if our children get to, let's say, an age where they now want to look for jobs, you would have built for them this foundation. They will not have to struggle. One of the things that I encourage whoever is watching us, let's break that poverty cycle. All right. So if a woman is earning 500 and the man is earning 500,000 and they want to live a good life, one of the things that I would say is sit down as a couple to understand what are some of those opportunities that could actually bring you money as a couple. Now, sometimes when you look at money, we look at it from the limitation point of view, like this is what our cup is. And a lot of financial literacy information there is about investment, saving. But you can't save and invest what you don't have. So if a couple that has 500,000 and maybe and that does mean that that small money that they are looking at can't be saved and also invested. It's their foundation, it's their seed. It's you understanding that if we are earning a total of 1 million, how much of this money that can we put aside to cater for, let's say, an investment or something that we can start and take care of us. These days we have circles. If you are part of a circle, you can access money. Even if you have a small saving in there, you can access more money that could actually sustain you. So it's about getting down to understand what are the opportunities we have, what skills do we have in place that we can actually utilize to be able to. So you find somebody is good at fashion, or somebody is good at tailoring, or good at maybe baking. What are some of the things can we do? Maybe we have a redundant oven that we could actually utilize. Maybe our home is big that we could actually get into, let's say, flowers, like here at Naria Motel. You come and talk to the proprietor and they're giving you some of the methods of how they're able to take care of these plants. And before you know, you're creating something. Because at the end of the day, we want to break the poverty cycles, that your children should not go into the same cycle, such that they are only just trying to focus on, let's say, on that income that is coming in. I'm one of those people that really, really, really preach the aspect of creating multiple income streams. As a family, you need to have multiple income streams, because today you're earning, the next time you don't know where that money is actually going to go, because anytime the job can get off, but also one time you're actually going to get in retirement. You know, this is a fact. You know, retirement is like death. We live like we're not going to die. The same thing with working. We work like as if we are not going to retire. We live by hand to mouth. Now that mindset has to go off, where you need to look at to the future and see what are some of the things. Like, utilize, if you're still young, you're in your 30s, you're in your 40s, or you're in your late 20s, see what can you do with your energy, such that you know that even if I have this job, is there something that I can do? Can I use Facebook? Can I use TikTok to market some of the products that I'm dealing in, such that it can bring an income for me and for my family, such that you start a foundation. Brian, we need to create businesses that we are going to transfer to our children, that our children are not going to just struggle. There are a lot of people in this era and age who have gone to university. They don't have anything to do. Their parents don't even have anywhere to put them. But this is labor that you could actually be utilized, but they don't have anywhere. Now, when we create these businesses right now, these are the businesses that are going to take care of us as in retirement, but also businesses that we can deploy our children to work in, and they grow legacies. And this is how the world needs to work. This is what the Indians are doing. The Indians, their children go to school, they study, but they have family businesses, they have family units, and there's sustainability of generations to come. Poverty is broken because when somebody dies, there's a person who's taking over and things are going to run. Like you've seen like the Mokwanos and so on. And we have even good stories now, like of the Moranas, where you see that he died, but
the family businesses
continue. Let's create these legacies. Let's not just look at the jobs that we are earning, of where we are employed. Let's create something that we can actually own as a family, and our children can also take on.
Wow. Thank you so much, guys. It's been a pleasure having Samuel Ibanda, and as you know that he's a senior consultant and a financial literacy coach, and would be coming here with him once again to give us more information about finances in a home. We are at Naria Motel. For those who would want to know where we do our podcast, Naria Motel is located in Naria, and you could be able to come here and see for yourself. Those who love plants, the plant lovers, Naria Motel is here to show you the great things that you can also learn about in whatever they do. So come and support Naria Motel, our hosts, always, every day, every now, and every time that we do our podcast. So thank you so much, my cameraman, my cinematographers, the guys behind our cameras. We appreciate you so much. So thank you so much, and we'll see you in our next podcast. Thank you.